So how do we do audit? Let's take a look at this campaign. This is how we start in doing Facebook ads audit. Basically, this is Facebook Ads Manager. I want to quickly walk you through how we look at numbers. Okay, so in Ads Manager, this is a campaign. So when you have active campaign running, a few things that you'll be seeing, this is whether it's active or not. And then after that, the bid strategy. Now, what is bid strategy? There are three types of bid strategy. Basically, the first is lowest cost, which is the default bid strategy. Then going in, we have bid cap, and then we have cost cap. So basically, each and every one of the bid strategies serves different purpose. You use them at specific reason. So if you really want to understand, dive into the Facebook Ads Accelerator program. We have a very great walkthrough on that part. So after that, you have budget, and then they show you the result. They show you the reach, impression, and cost, and eventually at this quality ranking, how much you have spent and when it's going to end. It's ongoing campaign. So this is basically the most fundamental numbers that you see. Now, to a lot of people, they already know that, oh, I have reached that many people and the impressions, blah, blah, blah. What else? What else can you see? Okay, so this is where I want to start walking you through about what are the potential numbers that you can get to see. Now, let's take a look at this campaign, for example. Basically, you're able to customize your column. That's the first thing I want to tell you. A lot of people don't even know this. Multiple columns means you can actually switch over to look at different numbers from different angles. So now this, where you see something new, cost per 1,000 people reach, 25, 28. So this is how much you are paying to reach 1,000 people. And then now you have CPM and all that. And then if you toggle it over to look at different one, and this is where you look at the engagement metrics, where they will show you different kind of thing, and then this in turn they give you cost per click. So I urge you to go and explore. All this gives you different perspective, as in different ideas about what are the metrics that you can look at in terms of judging the effectiveness of a campaign. But now what I want to show you is I want to use a thing called the action funnel to determine the effectiveness of this campaign. So what do you mean by action funnel? Action funnel is we want to look at the whole journey. We want to break it down to see how the journey flows. From there, we are able to identify where goes wrong and what can we do to improve. So remember, the campaign audit should be done on the weekly basis, as in like the optimization, where eventually every time we come in and look at the number, there will be something that we want to tweak. And then after tweaking it, we will usually take about 3 days to 7 days. Usually we take 7 days, yeah. Unless it's really short term and niche audience, then we will use 3 days as a benchmark. But usually it's a 7-day thing. From there, we will judge whether, okay, how well is this tweak going, and what is the next tweak that we need to do. So when a campaign comes in, usually we will take about, but usually at least 1 month to optimize and stabilize the campaign. So we want all the numbers to go well, so that when we have a benchmark, we'll be able to look at moving forward. How can we bring the cost down? How can we reach more people with the same amount of money? But look, let's look at currently at the audit. So now I want to quickly go over to a set of metrics that I set up early. So basically, as usual, everything remains the same, but I pull out 3 key metrics over here. The first is CPM. Now, CPM is cost per 1,000 impression. For most Facebook ads objective, this is the default charging block that you will be charged on Facebook advertising. So literally, when you're running ads on Facebook, you are really doing something similar to the flyer distribution, because every time you show your ad to people, you pay. Regardless they take action or not, regardless they scroll through or they really watch your video till the end, regardless, most of the time, this is your default charging block. So we want to look at CPM because this is really the number that determines whether are you really paying too much for a few reasons. So CPM, our benchmark is usually within 15 ringgit. Anything below 10 is good. 15 acceptable. Beyond that, we depend. Now, if you have a very niche audience, of course, sometimes we can go up to maybe like 20 plus 30 ringgit, which is fine. You are okay to pay because if the audience is small, your CPM is slightly higher. However, you won't be spending a lot, but that I will try to explain in greater detail if I have the opportunity. But I do have this covered in my Facebook Ads Accelerator program. This is a basic analytic inside the courses. Now, CPM here, let's take a look at it. CPM here is fine. CPM is, at the moment at about 8 ringgit. I like it. So this is good. Then we are looking at the CTR. CTR means the click-through rate, as in like percentage. Every 100 people who sees the ad, how many percent of these people really click through? Now, CTR, as you can see here, there are two CTR. One is CTR all. Now, CTR all means when you are looking at a Facebook ad, right, there are many buttons to click, not just the call to action button, not just the link, not just the video to play. Clicking on like is also considered a click. Clicking on profile, your image is also considered a click. Clicking on your page name to go over is also considered a click. High CTR for all may not be a very good thing, because the next thing we look at is the CTR for link click-through. Now, the CTR for link click-through means when you're running an ad, there should be an action that you're trying to get. So let's say this is for messages. Now, when you want messages means how many people really click on the send message button and start conversation with you. So this kind of CTR over here is at 0.66%. So now immediately we see some potential problem already, yeah? Because you have very high CTR for all and you have very low CTR for link click-through. So this could be the problem already, which means a lot of people are interested, but very little people take the action. But let's take a look at whether the overall action funnel, whether this is doing okay or not. So I'll recap a little bit. Yeah, over here you have reached 71,000 people with a total of 400 and over 1,000 times. So the frequency we are looking at here is, I didn't pull out frequency, but on average it's about 3. Now the next thing that we want to look at is, out of these 71,000 people, there are 14,000 people watch the video up to 25%. Well, quite decent, because if you're looking at the number itself, right, that will be about 19%. Now 19% to watch up to 25%, not too bad. And then those who play up to 50% is about 10,000. That is very impressive, in fact. So basically we're looking at about 14% watch up to 50%, okay? And out of which we got 1,400 clicks. Now look back, yeah, 71,000 people reach. And then you have 1,439 clicks. So basically from here, we want to see how many people started conversation. So over here, we have 573 message connections. So let's take a look back. And then in total, we have 581 messaging result. So overall, this campaign may have some challenge, as in like you have a lot of click-through rate, as in like the advertisement itself, right, is good because it gets a lot of people to engage with it, either because this is video. So playing the video is also considered a click. So from here, we also look at the video play. Well, all the numbers seems to be very promising. We are looking at, okay, then eventually, even though we have low click-through rates, as in like this link click-through, conversion from video play to link click to messaging seems all right. So everything is actually under control. And ultimately, of course, what we want to look at is the cost per result. Now, your cost per result is standing at 3, which is, I think this is a very good number to look at. We will dive in if there is a certain problem. We will try to dissect, see what are the challenges. Like let's say, for example, if this CTR is very high, however, the link is very low, we'll probably try to reduce the friction that we have on the advertisement. We want to give clearer instruction to our audience about what to do. You see, like I mentioned, I keep on saying this, when it comes to advertising on Facebook, we are that dumb. We have no idea what you want us to do. So you got to be very specific. You want to point us to the right action that you want us to take. Reducing friction, we will observe by maybe changing the visual. We will see whether this CTR does improve over time or not next week. So if it does, then okay, stable. Then we will look for some other things to do. So this is really the process of optimization. Ads Audit really helps you dissect and find the numbers that matters to you. So this is one example.